welcome to A Web of Stories. My name is Melinda and today is Tuesday, which means it's Tag Tuesday. And this time I am doing, it's an original tag created by James Holder, and it's yet another, what's it called? Yet another random questions tag. I saw Ms. Reads a lot do this, and I thought, you know, I like random questions. I'm going to answer this one. So we'll see how it goes. Let's see what kind of random stuff you learn from me. There are 15 questions, and then tag some people. I'm still thinking about who I'm going to tag, so we'll see when we get to the end who ends up getting tagged. Okay. The first one is, what is a book you don't want to admit you hate or dislike? Well, I'm very open about the fact that I really hate Pride and Prejudice, but I always get weird looks, and I know people judge me for that. I'm sorry, it's true. I hate Pride and Prejudice. But when I always feel really uncomfortable, it's not a book. It's an author's books that I feel uncomfortable. And it's not even that I hate them. I wouldn't even go so far to say that I dislike them. It's that I find them fine. I mean, I don't find anything special about them. But that's Taylor Jenkins Reid, especially her newer novels. I know people who love them, and I'm happy it brings them so much joy. I just am not wowed by them. I'm just like, that was okay. I'm always ashamed to kind of bring that up because I know people who love them so much, and I'm like, I don't want to get into a debate about this because it's not like I hated it, but I don't, you know, I don't feel the attachment to it that they do. So there you go. Next question. Are there authors whose work you haven't gotten on with that you want to revisit? So, I said in my February wrap up, Colson Whitehead. So right now, the answer is no, there aren't, but Colson Whitehead was the answer before I read The Nickel Boys. I had a hard time with the Underground Railroad. I made it through, but oof, that was a bad reading experience for me. I mean, obviously it's a very tough book to read and all the material, but it was just like the book did not work for me. So I thought that I was just not going to be a Colson Whitehead person. But then I read The Nickel Boys, and that was a completely different experience. So, you know, I will usually give an author a second try unless, you know, I find their first book really offensive or just really horribly written or something like that. But generally, I will give writers a second try. And sometimes, like Colson Whitehead, it really pays off. Third question. Is your TBR outline or pantsed? Yes. So I went through this on a tag a week or two ago. Or kind of went through how I did my TBR. So my TBR is unreasonably huge. And I'm just talking about my own TBR at this point. So what I do is I make it smaller. So each month I, you know, draw names out. I have a basket that I fill up for my print books, and I have a list that I add 5 ebooks to every month. So that's the pantsed part. No, wait, that's the planned part. And the pants part is, once I have those smaller TBRs, then I can choose whatever I want. Now, on top of that, I'll also get books from the library, and those are usually new releases, and I read those as they come in. So yes, it is pantsed or planned. It's both of them. The next one. What is your favorite BookTube reading event? I've not been on BookTube that long. I will say I have done Nonfiction November. I did the Big Book Challenge, but I did that. I mean, I know Sue Jackson, she runs the Big Book Challenge, the Big Books of Summer Challenge. She's been doing that for a long time, and I did it like before I was on BookTube because she would do it through her blog. So I've done that. And I did Nonfiction November. Those are the only like official ones I've done. And I definitely plan to do both of them again. In fact, as far as Big Books of Summer, I already have 2 of my big books. Would be The Lincoln Highway and Babel. I'm saving those for the summer. I am going to start in April. I'm going to do People April, I think is what they're calling it. And I'll link the videos down for that one. It's to read memoirs. And I'm gonna read at least a memoir in April. Don't know what it is yet. I've looked at the prompts. I haven't figured out, but I just decided today I'm gonna do that. But beyond that, I haven't done many yet. And I try not to do a lot of reading events because I don't want to be too constrained by what I'm reading. So I will say during March, where you have both like March mysteries and middle grade March, that's like every month for me. So yeah, I could do the reading event, but I always do it. So it's not anything that pushes me. But I think reading events are great. I'm not dissing reading events. I'm just saying that's where I am with them. Next question. We are on question 5. How many works does it take to decide if you like or dislike an author's work? As I said earlier, I normally don't decide on one book unless I find something really offensive about it. I did a video about my hot takes with spicy author opinions, and there are authors I do not like. There's an author mentioned in that one. There's a card up there for that. That was it. Like, I read that one book and that was it. I found the book too offensive. But normally I try to give them at least 2. We'll see. If 2 don't work, then I'm like, you know, I don't really know if it's worth it for a 3rd time. So I would say about 2. Okay, sorry about that jump there. I had just finished talking about how many chances I give an author. And then my son ran up and told me that the Jehovah's Witnesses were at the door. They were gone by the time I got down there, so it's all good. Next question. Which of the 7 deadly sins do you experience the most? Gluttony. That's the one. Gluttony. That one's an easy one, I think. I can't always remember what all of the 7 deadly sins are, but I definitely know that's one, and I fall victim to it. Okay. The next question, question 7. I might have to pull my daughter. Oh, I am going to have to pull my daughter in on this one. And it is, which of the Olympian gods is your favorite? I don't care. I don't know. Now, Lily, on the other hand, has always loved the Olympian gods. When she was little, like 2, my mother gave her a teddy bear. It looked like one of like those old style teddy bears. But I mean, it was new, but it looked like one of the old ones. And she named it Hercules. So she knows. So I'm going to ask her what her favorite of the Olympian gods is.
Artemis.
Artemis is her favorite. I don't know why, but there you go. Artemis. Now, if you'd asked Norse gods, I would have said Loki, because Loki is cool. And in the Marvel universe, he's also quite hot. As is Thor. Thor is hotter, but you know, Loki's, you know.
Mom, you had a baby with a bull.
Yeah, Loki's weird. Loki is weird. So here's my thing. This is why Loki is my favorite of the Norse gods. If you like, I think the way a lot of people know Norse gods at this point in time is through Marvel. But the thing is, like, Thor and Odin are nothing in Marvel, are nothing like the Norse gods, which is fine. I mean, that's fine. I'm not criticizing that. I think it's a good thing, because it would be a horrible comic if they were like it. It would just be horrible. And there's this show from New Zealand called The Almighty Johnsons, which is all about Norse gods, and they're a little bit closer, but they're still different. But in all of these iterations, the one Norse god who's always the same is Loki. Like, I mean, yes, he doesn't always have children with bulls. No. He turned himself into a horse and got pregnant.
No, but he also had a child with a bull, and like he got pregnant.
Yeah. Again. How can you not love that? So yes, Norse gods, I'm going to say Loki and Artemis for the Olympian gods. Thank you, Lily. Thank you for answering that question for me. Number 8, what is your go-to special event meal? Mine is spaghetti with we call it mom's spaghetti sauce. My mother would always make big things of spaghetti. We call it mom's spaghetti sauce. It's actually my spaghetti sauce. She never had a recipe. It was always different every time. And one time I had her write down what she did for me, what she did. And then I used that, and I realized that she had like totally messed that up. So I fixed it. So it's now my recipe, but that's the one that my family, my brothers, and everybody uses. And it makes a bunch. So, and spaghetti's easy because people dish up what they want, and there you go, and leftovers taste good. So spaghetti is mine. And the sauce is so good. Next question. Do you attend local celebrations, fairs, festivals, markets, etc.? Yeah, I mean, it's not a regular thing for me. I am not a fan of crowds. Even pre-pandemic, I didn't really like crowded spaces. But we have in our town, we have a farmer's market that is Saturday mornings. I usually don't go Saturday mornings, but sometimes on Tuesday evenings in the summer, they have bands, and we've done that. In my hometown of Salem, Oregon, they have an art fair every July. I don't go every year, but I do like to go. Growing up, I went every year when I lived down there. We didn't go last year, and I really wanted to go last year because from the time I was born until the year before last year, it was exactly the same. I mean, like, decades. It was exactly the same. And then last year they decided to change everything. So I wanted to go and see how they changed it, but it didn't work in our schedule, so we didn't get to go down to do it. But maybe this year, maybe we'll go down to the Salem Art Fair. Next question. Do you prefer, and this is number 10, by the way, if you're keeping track. Do you prefer the city, suburbs, small towns, or the country? Well, I have lived in the city and the suburbs. I definitely prefer the suburbs for living over the city. Too many people, too noisy, not enough like green stuff that's supposed to be green. Personally, if I had to guess, my husband would love to live in the country. He says he grew up in the country. He didn't grow up in the country. I would say probably small town would be my ideal setting, but yeah, I'm a suburbs girl. That's what where I've always lived. So we'll say suburbs. Okay, number 11. Are there any BookTube videos you have a hard time making? Do you mean like any of them? I don't know. I have never successfully done a vlog this month. I'm doing March wrap up as a reading vlog. We'll see how that goes. I will tell you if you tune in when I do my March wrap up and it's not a vlog, that means it went very badly. So there you go. I'm new to BookTube, so I haven't done a lot of the different kinds of things to do. So I still just am trying to get a somewhat decent video out there, which doesn't always happen. Next question. What number are we on? Oh, we are on number 12. Are you interested in local history? Actually, yes. I love history. I have a degree in history. I love history. As for local history, I am interested, but I'm especially interested in the local history in my hometown of Salem. I'm in a number of Facebook groups where they have pictures of Salem 100 years ago, and I love reading the stories about it. Because I've lived in this area for 22 years. So yeah, it's not like I just moved here, but which is really strange if you think about it. I've lived in this area for 22 years, and I lived in Salem for like 17 or 18. So I've actually lived here longer than I lived there. Go figure. But still, I do like local history, and I always like when we travel, I like to go see the historical things. I'm a big history person. So there you go. I read a lot of historical fiction too. 13. What subjects were your favorite in school? History. Although in high school I did not have good history class experiences, even though I ended up getting a degree in history. But that's my European history was fine. My AP European history was fine. My AP US history was taught by the football coach who would give us a list of words to look up and then would sit there and watch football plays. That was not fun. But I did like history and English, which even though I loved English and I loved to write, I had a really bad experience my senior year. I took college writing. I had a choice of taking AP English or college writing. And I chose college writing because 1, I love to write, and 2, it was guaranteed credit as opposed to possible credit, like based on what your AP exam was. So I thought I would go for the sure thing. But the teacher of that class, she didn't like teaching. She didn't like kids. She was a terrible teacher. She was horrible. It was just a horrible experience. And I came out of it with credits that I probably should have just thrown away and taken the classes they replaced in college anyway, because I learned nothing that year. So, Anyway, off that soapbox. Next question. If you could go back in time and change one thing in your life, what would it be? I would have taken AP history instead of college writing. That is the only thing in my life I would have changed. There you go. I just, I don't spend a lot of time on regrets, because anything that you can say you regret, if you think about what would have happened, where would you be if you didn't do it? And I think, I don't think I would be anywhere different had I taken AP English instead of college writing, except I wouldn't have had that horrible year of English and I might still be writing. So that is the only thing I regret and I would change. Last question, 15. Are there any childhood entertainments that you still engage in? You know what? There's one I can think of. It's not one that I especially enjoyed, but it's just something I did a lot as a kid because my family did it. And that was bowling. Like, my mom bowled on a league and we like to go bowling. But I actually don't still engage in it because last time I went bowling, I threw my back out. So yeah, I don't do it anymore. I don't miss it. I'm fine. I didn't like it that much as a kid. But otherwise, you know, I read a lot as a kid. I wrote a lot, you know. I danced. I don't dance anymore like that. I don't do ballet anymore. But yeah. So I still read. There you go. I still do that one. And those were the 15 random questions. And if you stay through this whole video, here is your thumbs up. Now give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up for this video, and I applaud you for sitting through this thing. So who should I tag? I am going to tag, you know what? If you're watching this video, you're tagged. I'm sorry to wimp out on you like that, but feel free to do it. I wasn't tagged in this video, and I still did it. These are fun questions. They're easy. You don't have to think that hard about it, and it's fun to getting to know each other a bit more. If I always tag you in posts, the only reason why I didn't tag you this time is because I always tag you in posts. But still, consider yourself tagged. And now I'm babbling, so I'm gonna stop. So if you like this video, yay, great, wonderful, thank you. But please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.